Ontario police are gang stalking the corrupt airlines at the Ontario International Airport, who are going to be civilly and criminally prosecuted for federal group stalking and monitoring. And as you documented, just like the demon in unit number 55 engages in psychological torture, immediately the demons who are monitoring everything on the venue, impeding with the ability to report to the federal government that the state of California is engaged in domestic terrorism and psychological torture by pacing over the venue in commercial planes in a manner that is incongruent with ever taking off from Terminal 2 or Terminal 4, as I document that on my phone, which the state is criminally monitoring in violation of Title 18, Section 22618, subsections 1 and 2, in the specific environment where the fake sun rises and sets, where the fake moon is over me at night, where I have multiple shadows like I do right now at nightfall, with simultaneity to what I'm documenting on my phone, in concert with the demon that paces in a circle like a lapdog in the living room with every move that I make. The demons sound helicopter activity. This is what Mike Lorenz is engaged in, and it's federal stalking. This is what Paul Leon and the Ontario City Council are engaged in, and it's federal stalking. This is what the airlines, including Delta Airlines, Frontier Airlines, Southwest Airlines, United Airlines, Amazon, UPS, and FedEx, using their commercial planes, and every other airline associated with the gang stalking venue the Ontario International Airport are engaging in. There is no coincidence with regard to what the Ontario Police Department are engaged in. They've done it at every single venue, monitoring my genitalia in the bathroom at Starbucks, my genitalia in the bathroom at the Open Family Community Library, my genitalia inside of the bathroom inside of Tracy Banks's apartment. They're doing it at the specific venue where I've also shown the fake sun is remaining for the duration of the day at all of those aforesaid venues, by the way, including over the Demons police station at the 2500 South Archibald Avenue. They engage in psychological torture, which is the corrupt airlines gang stalking at the Ontario International Airport, threatening my life, which they're going to be prosecuted for. It's criminal obstruction of justice. While, again, Southwest Airlines, United Airlines, Frontier Airlines, the Amazon, UPS, FedEx, all of whom I've documented on video, by the way, gang stalking with the state for years. And as I document them on my phone, the demon in Unit 55, pacing with the demons by helicopter, engages in what is simultaneous stomping, which is amplified in sound, designed to obstruct justice. That is to terrorize, to harass, to traumatize, to psychologically torture, to the point to deter you from documenting it. And it's not a coincidence that as I document the airlines, I continuously do so and identify in my documentation and text, the demons arrive with simultaneity in helicopter, like they are doing on an ongoing basis. All right, this is the prosecution of the Ontario International Airport. Alan D. WAPNER, a demon that's sitting on the corrupt Ontario City Council, he's going to be removed. He's also engaged in the corruption of the Omnitrans bus line, heavily documented gang stalkers as well. What these companies are doing, the transportation lines, also interstate commerce via the airlines at the venue of the airport, which is going to be shut down. The entity is engaging in what is threatening my life and safety and well-being and liberty, while the police arrive to communicate a threat, to obstruct justice, to try to stop me from reporting it to the feds. You're going to prison for that. This demon's name, who's gang stalking in the helicopter, they're going to prison. All of these demons here in units 33 through 64 are going to federal prison, and they are monitoring. There's one shadow, there's two shadows. Oh, here's another shadow right here, and there's multiple shadows right here on the ground. So let me show you, that is indeed gang stalking by the police, who are keeping my communication devices, keeping my physical movements as the demon possessed are monitoring you physically, and they're also monitoring my genitalia. They're gross sex offenders who are obsessed with my nudity. They're obsessed with my genitalia and everything concerning it, and also everything that I'm reporting to the federal government. This is why Paul Leon is done with politics. He's done with being a mayor in Ontario. He's a sex offender, and the entity threatens my life as I document the fact that the airlines in Ontario from the Ontario International Airport are engaged in state surveillance. And this is the tactic of the domestic terrorists. They engage in threatening by helicopter, and that's this heliport. And these demons gang stalking Mike Lorenz, they are going to be permanently removed from law enforcement, and they're engaged in open domestic terrorism. This is not a third world country. This is Southern California, where the homes in California are on fire, and this is why they don't have enough resources and manpower and training to put them out adequately and effectively, because they're wasting millions of dollars on domestic terrorism surveillance. It's P.O.C. This crossing path, this is a direct threat to your life, and you're going to prison for that. And so are the people of the state. Here's another shadow over here. That's not the light activity that's caused from the light fixtures. So that's the government, again, engaging years of what is providing the evidence to support the permanent disbanding of the Ontario Police Department. The entirely illegitimate state actor, Mike Lorenz, just like before him, Derek Williams. The illegitimacy of the public official, Paul Leon, and Alan D. WAPNER, who is the president over the corrupt airport that is engaged in state surveillance, patrolling over the senior citizen complex. All right, and doing so repeatedly and more loudly as I continue documenting them on my website. This is the POC.wordpress.com, and on the YouTube channel. Okay, they're doing so with regard to the pattern of conduct that's being published online, and it is a criminal act of obstruction of justice while doing so. And they're doing it in concert with this demon right here who's going to a mental asylum. In unit number 55, she does not sleep, she does not abandon position directly over me, and as I document the airlines who are going to be prosecuted for domestic terrorism, they're engaged in criminal surveillance. They're wasting millions of dollars of the city using commercial planes, not for destinations, not for being paid money to take flights and take people to their destinations, but to engage in gang stalking, just like the people of the state. This is the unemployed gang stalking with the city of Ontario. These are the people of the state that are gang stalking as the police department and as the airport, which my documentation unilaterally establishes. My documentation already shows that. For you to fly over my head in the specific environment with simultaneity to what I'm documenting on my phone, that is ongoing corroborating evidence, which is not helpful to American Airlines, Delta Airlines, Southwest Airlines, Avianca, Frontier Airlines, Amazon, UPS, FedEx, who are gang stalking also in their vehicles through their demon-possessed employees. They're fully engaged in it, and they're using commercial planes. That's also why Paul Leon is done with being the mayor here. He's been presiding over domestic terrorism. You are done. You're a demon, you're a fake pastor, and you're also a criminal trying to hide that, all right? And that's why the police are gang stalking over the senior citizen complex. It's currently 11:20 p.m. This is the impunity of the corrupt government, all right? And they engage in threatening American citizens. They hate the Constitution. They hate American citizens that enforce their rights. That's also why those that are domestic enemies, that's what they are. While they're gang stalking by the police, while they're gang stalking by the airports, while they're gang stalking as a mayor, they're enemies, they're domestic enemies, and they actually hate the Constitution and your enforcement of their rights. And I continuously show that through my evidence, and it is the quintessence of what is demonstrating how you are unfit for office and you're not going to stay in office. Those are the people of the state gang stalking. It's called amplification and directed light. It's the P.O.C. It is currently 11:20 p.m. While this is evidence of an entire city being a sex offender monitoring inside of a private space and engaged in federal stalking, monitoring on communication devices while they seek to obstruct justice using psychological torture. That psychopath that's gang stalking in the helicopter is going to federal prison. The people of the state gang stalking at the Ontario International Airport, not only is that airport going to be shut down, and those public officials who are demon-possessed sex offending gang stalkers and domestic enemies who derive pleasure from inflicting psychological torture by stalking in planes, those are the people that are engaging in what is murders, not accidents by planes, by the way. They're not accidents. They're gang stalking with the people of the state. They're all going to prison. These demons aren't asleep in directed light. These demons aren't asleep while the state is stalking by plane and helicopter. These demons aren't asleep as I continuously document the unemployed one in 55. This is P.O.C. It is 11:21 p.m.